big enough to handle serious cases, small enough to care. Here is your look at Matt Poland's 11, and no changes from the Snowbird Derby defeat. He makes 2 changes from what was a 1-1 draw against Tormenta last Saturday night from left to right. Massive 6-pointer here in USL League One. One of these two sides by the end of the evening. 3 defeats in the last 4. The only victory in that span coming on this very ground against AV Alta 3 weeks back. Matt Poland mentioning that last week in particular was frustrating because he felt like almost everyone on the pitch didn't perform within their typical performance range. He said he feels in many respects it was an outlier performance, the 2-0 defeat at Westchester, in which they were uncharacteristically sloppy across the board. He says that it's key to not make that a trend, but also can't make a mountain out of a molehill based on that performance. He is just refocusing for these final 2 fixtures, both of which are on home soil, taking care of the business that will allow them to secure a home playoff match. You look at the way the table has shaken out, they are still in full control of their destiny, especially with Portland dropping points against Westchester moments ago. Reyes can't thread this through to own it. Now Brett, who plays it forward to Siobhan John Brown in space. And now he's through on goal and cleared off the line by Dangler, who catches up to it in plenty of time. Well, there is the halftime whistle. Nothing to separate these 2 squads after 45 minutes and change. One major chance either way turned away. Solid interplay here. Cross is cut out at the source though. Here towards Henderlong. Endured a rather quiet first half by his lofty standards. That is overzealous from Cisneros. Meredith. Farine snatches this back and has room to roam. Flicks it back for Henderlong. This is Carson Henderlong, who draws a save out of Marancio. Rather routine in the end, but the first time he stings his palms tonight. One of the top forwards in the competition. It is a crafty back heel, and you see Henderlong usher this onto his left, puts his laces through it, but Chris Heckenberg and Kevin O'Connor are standing over it. Henderlong to the near post, falls for Cisneros. Cleared out to heel. Maybe options the other way now for Spokane. Siobhan John Brown. Lewis. Charged out of trouble by Cisneros, only as far as John Brown. Appeals for handball, and they will come back to that as it struck Onan's arm. Sets up Spokane for these 60 minutes and change and throughout the season. Matt Poland preaching patience with him though, and said that scoring is the hardest thing to do in the game of football. And Farine does all the right things from a raw intangibles perspective, defends well, has a high work rate, but there is an adaptation process for anyone who comes to a new country and joins the footballing fold. Of course, Andres Farine, product of the Once Caldas Academy system in Colombia. And in that system, he was one of the most athletic players, had those advantages over many of his counterparts. He has seen the level increase since making the move to the States. Matt Poland himself saying even in the Premier League, players take a year to fully adjust. Farine has shown enough promising moments for them to feel very optimistic about his development through the end of this year and beyond. Just wonder if he can put it all together ahead of this final stretch. Could go a long way to defining how Naples' season comes to a close. Henderlong turns wide, and this is Farine in space. Cuts it across, runs all the way to the back post. The effort just sails wide. Cisneros in a troublesome spot and wins the corner for Naples. Well, there is Farine at his very best. Lovely cross. If not for Cisneros' effort being deflected, it might be 1-0 to Naples. Corner kick presented by Anderson. Trust your home to Anderson. It is Kevin O'Connor who stands over it. Within swing. Back stick. This one knocked well over the bar by Dangler. Inside the final half hour from Paradise Coast Sports Complex. For those that are just joining us, we welcome you into Naples, Florida. Sam Goldfarb taking you every step of the way this evening. A 0-0 scoreline between Naples and Spokane. The chances beginning to pop up both ways. And here is Henderlong, a man who can take them better than most. And he has one. Well, instead, the referee signals for a goal kick. So he replaces Kevin O'Connor. That is a clearly attack-minded alteration. Bachstein, a proven goal scorer wherever he's gone. That substitution presented by Seminole Casino Hotel Immokalee. More in Paradise. Well, fans, FC Naples has only one home game remaining in the regular season, and it is a massive one. Come out to Paradise Coast Sports Complex next Saturday, October 25th, as they take on Charlotte Independence. Get your tickets now before they run out. Dominic Bachstein is into the match. An out-and-out forward who has succeeded alongside Henderlong in a two-man front when they play together. Pelaez threads it through to Akale, back across, still loose, and it's in! Luis Hill breaking the deadlock in the dying embers. Spokane leads. They may have just stunned the Paradise Coast Sports Complex. Luis Hill, a veteran of the league, providing what may just be the devastating blow. Akale's cross looked like it had evaded every. As of now, Naples set to come up empty-handed at home. Well, it would take a better delivery than that, right into Andre Lewis's head. Garrett. Hearing word, it is 8 minutes of stoppage time presented by Tide Cleaners, as Henderlong knocks this across and falls into the waiting arms of Marancio.
Added time in the second half. Added time presented by Classic Diamond Plumbing.
On a night where Naples was looking the more likely to provide the decisive blow, they've been caught out by a Spokane squad that began to calibrate in the final 20 minutes. And after a well-worked move that ended with the ball at Luis Hill's feet, the visitors have jumped in front in the closing stages. That could prove very damaging to Naples' hopes of hosting a playoff match at home. Right now, a point below Union Omaha, who is in line to claim all three. Reedy. Is there time for one final break forward for Naples? Cisneros. He's upended. There may just be. No, there will not. The full-time whistle sounds. It is a hard-fought 3 points for Spokane Velocity as they travel from coast to coast and clinch a home playoff match in the quarterfinals. 1-0 victors, courtesy of Luis Hill's late dagger.